Kyle, can you come get him, please?
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I am. I mean, yes, I can hear you. I'm sorry. I'm in Target with my little sisters. I
Oh,
thought I thought I'd be done by now, but yes, I can hear you.
huh? I think Sabrina said she was going to join as well.
Gotcha. Can you guys see me? I don't know if I can see. I just see I think that's Purge icon.
Yeah, we're here together.
Okay. Cool. How are you both doing today?
Good. It's hot though. Like,
It is.
being pregnant in the summer is not fun.
Is this your first time being pregnant around this time?
No, this is actually my third time.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I'm
How far along are you?
almost 6 months.
Okay.
So
Okay, nice. When's your due date?
November 24th.
Oh, my birthday is October 2nd. I was say, yeah, she's gonna have her, or is it girl boy?
A boy.
Okay. Congratulations. I was gonna say yes. It's gonna come around my birthday.
Well, we're supposed to be having a wedding October 10th, so
Oh, nice.
hopefully it don't come in October at all.
Right, right. Well, congratulations. That's a beautiful thing, a new baby and the wedding. So,
Cam, you have to come. You can't be so loud, baby.
yeah, it's so over here too. No, are you done?
We'll give Sabrina a couple more minutes.
Okay.
You can like still do your shopping. Sorry.
No, I expected to be home by now. And I was like, oh crap. I was like, well, I can still join from my phone. So, yeah.
How it is when you go to Target. You go in thinking you coming right back out. You
Right.
don't.
Right. We came here to exchange or return something. We were shopping. You think they'll bring them up for me? I need some rolls to put in.
It looks like Spurs joined from in a different room on another computer.
Oh, okay. Oh, I had to swipe my screen. Okay, now. Okay, now I can see you both.
Okay, yeah, I just went outside real quick. Multitasking.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Same. Was this? Too strong with you guys in the chat. I just, I want the best for this group, and I do appreciate all the work you guys have done thus far. It's just that when I came in under.
It was like the beginning of July.
I was given the wrong impression, not the impression, but I was told like it's a solid group, huh?
You're breaking up.
Hello.
Yes. Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I went too far back. Okay. No, I was just saying, I hope I'm not coming off too strong to you guys in the chat. It's just, I just want the group to be successful. And then also when I was invited, I was kind of told something different about the group. Like, I wasn't expecting an immediate payout, but it was just, it was kind of like, oh, you should get paid, a lot quicker than what it is now. And I'm not worried about getting paid out quickly. I just wanted it to be successful for everyone because, the people that I'm bringing in are my family and friends. And I don't want them to look at me crazy like, hold up, you told me one thing and now it's something else.
No, same for us. We were kind of given a different impression as well. Spurs joined the group first, and what we were told was that it was like a 48-hour payout. Mm-hmm. And then I guess once he joined, there was a lot of like drama and just a lot of back and forth in the group. And then the group kind of closed and then reopened a brand new group. And then we kind of all got thrown in this new group. So yeah. We're in the same boat there. And I've also invited my family and friends also. So we're definitely on the same page. And I don't really take offense to anyone feeling strong-hearted about this because, I understand it's people's money and, like you said, family and friends. So the only thing that I ask is like, if there is an issue that we bring it up and address it, because I wouldn't want anybody to leave the group with any ill feelings or,
Right.
No, we're definitely on the same page there.
Okay.
So, well, with that being said, so I kind of got thrown into this other tutu. I didn't join it. I just got, put into the chat group, and I was like, well, let me see what they're doing in this group. The group had about 800 members. It looked like people were just throwing friends or people they knew inside the chat group, and like no real introduction, just people's names. So I just kind of like stuck around to see how they did things. And I guess their payout was at about a week or two. And it was an $80 susu, not a $100 susu. But one of the things that I noticed that they were doing was that they were just filling the flowers one by one as they came in. And so Spurge had originally brought up the idea when we had that big group meeting, but maybe things kind of got lost in translation because I had a side convo with Tandale, and she was like, yeah, I totally didn't get that from the meeting. She was like, I'm a visual person, and you know, that just went right over my head. So it could have went over a lot of people's heads. Spurge is very technical. And so when he said the idea, people didn't come on board. But when I saw how they were running it in this other, that could work for us. So basically, the only difference with theirs is that they put the board out and they allow the group to decide if they want to jump in that flower or not as a fire. Okay. So they'll put the board out and then they'll say who wants to get in this board as a fire, who wants to invest. And then people will reply, I want to get in. After they have 8 people, they'll say, okay, submit your money, send your screenshot to show that you can.
Gotcha.
And so I was like, okay, well, it might be difficult for us to do that because we don't have that many people. Stuck around a little longer, the admin was saying that it's really just the same 20 people reinvesting in the group and like a few new people here and there, but it's like a solid 20 people that they have in their group just reinvesting, keep the flowers moving and make, you know, residual income.
Okay.
So that's go ahead.
That was the $80 group. You said you spoke to the admin in that group?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I was like, well, we could kind of piggyback off of a portion of how they're doing things where, you know, we would fill the flowers one by one as a group, right? Either people in our group could find people to fill that space, or if they want to go in once or twice or whatever into that particular flowers of fire, they can. And then it just goes in the order that you came in. So I kind of did a visual. I'm going to see if I could share the screen and kind of show you. Spurge, how do I get to your Telegram?
If you just press the Windows button, just start typing Telegram.
Oh.
Is that Gushers? That's a cool picture.
What are those? Berries?
No, yeah, those are Gushers.
That's pretty cool.
I'm just giving people the blue pill. That's all.
Yeah.
It's not opening.
So just press Windows, the Windows button. and just start typing Telegram.
Well, I'm saying it's at the bottom of your screen now. Clicking on it.
But that the hard drive is full, so yeah, it might have some issues.
So, okay, can you see that?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so basically they have the flowers numbered. So we'll say, for example, we have 3 people in the water phase right now. Obviously, right now we have more, but this is just. So we have Sabrina, Larry, and Nana in the water phase. So we start with Sabrina. These obviously would be blank, and then these.
Right.
Anybody in here wants to get into this flower, they can, or let's find some fires to fill up this flower.
Right. I'm actually in another group as well. That one's for 200, and they do the exact same thing. Okay. So it's kind of like a bidding thing, though. So basically, they'll post a flower where somebody's in the water position, and then all 8 fires is available. And then depending on how many spots that you want, you could bid 1 or 2 or 3. And then if you win the bid, they'll place you on that flower. So I'm kind of familiar with that concept. I just don't know how we could go from how we started ours to that.
So I don't think that the bidding part would work for us, but I think the filling the flowers one by one would work for us. So like as people get in their fires, we'll have to people will have to recruit more if they want to get through and get to their fire. But like basically, once you get enough fires to fill this flower, then Tomika and Chaloni would go behind Nana, who is the last person to be in the water. So they would be considered flowers 4 and 5. We next close out Larry's. So then Leslie and Sabrina would go behind
and the other person.
After Tamika and Shaloni, yeah, and then so on and so forth. I don't know how people will feel about that because people are like possessive over their fires. But when Solomon asked, like, why aren't we doing one flower? And then T side messaged me about it, and I was talking to Spurge, and he was like, well, yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say in the meeting. And I think it could work if everybody's on board. But again, like this group, I don't really know everybody personally, so I can't really gauge, how they would feel about the change. But I think it would move people along a lot faster than having 1 or 2 flowers moving and then putting reserves here and there.
Yeah. So basically you're saying the way we currently have it, so the flowers that we currently have, you're saying that we fill up those flowers, get those people paid out, and then the next people who's in the earth position, we basically start over. Well, we start with this new routine.
Yes.
Okay.
So one at a time until everybody gets paid. And then
Gotcha.
People have the option to reinvest, or not option because we're saying they need to reinvest. But people, when they get paid out, they'll just reinvest and go into the next fire position if we don't have somebody to fill that position.
Yeah. I like the idea because I feel like, I agree that it's going to move it along faster. But I don't know how successful would be, not to be negative, but with just 50 people or 60 people with that method now, I feel like we definitely need a lot more involvement, but I do like the idea.
Yeah, I think no matter what we do, we're going to still need people to recruit.
Yeah.
And bring in people. But right now, there's really just the only people to be honest, recruiting at this point is you, me, Tondela. I think Jasmine brought in some more people, I believe. But then for the most part, everybody else has, you know, just been bringing in people for their flowers.
Right. Right. No, I agree with that. So, okay, so best case scenario, the current flowers that are missing a couple of fires, we get those filled out, and then we start on this new way of filling the flowers, and we post a flower that has 8 open spots. So, you know, who are the people that's going to bid, besides the ones that's coming back in, who are the other people that's going to say, hey, I want to hop on this flower, because everyone else should be already in the flower unless new people come in.
Yeah, but like some people went in twice. Like I think Stacy, she went in twice to close out her flower. I think Alex went in twice. So there's people who are willing to go or pay into other flowers. So I mean, we could see if people are interested in doing that. I know Leslie says she's gonna jump right back in. But again, I don't know the whole group, so I can't really say if people would be willing to do that.
Right. Same. I mean, I know I got in twice, and my friend McCarroll, he came in twice. So I know people are willing to do it. I just feel like the current people who's already in it, they are more susceptible to do it once they receive their payout, or once they see that, you know, things are moving quicker or more efficiently.
And I think that's the conundrum, because people are waiting for it to move faster to bring more people in, but it can't move faster unless you bring more people in.
Yeah.
So trying to, you know, I mean, you've said it, I've said it, you know, we've said it quite a bit of times, but I feel like, you know, certain people are waiting to see what's going to happen, but nothing's going to happen if you're not bringing anybody in. And if only a handful of people are bringing people in, I mean, at some point, like for you, I felt bad for you because you brought in at least 6 people, or probably more than that. And, you know, you could have filled your flower a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, same thing for Spurge. We brought in a bunch of people when we first started. He could have filled his flower a long time ago, but, you know, we're thinking bigger purpose and community, but I don't know that is getting translated to the group. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess we can present it to the group as an idea, see what people say. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's still going to be the same. Like if you're not bringing people in, the flowers aren't.
Right. I guess, do you guys have any idea of how we could get the other members more involved, or, you know, because I feel like the meeting that we had before, a lot of people in the meeting was saying the issue was because they had people who wanted to come in, but those people felt like they can't find 2 people. So I felt like, you know, maybe if we eliminate that rule of having to bring in 2 people, you know, that would make it move quicker and have people come in a lot quicker. But so far that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting like a flood of people. After we got off that call, I was like, yes, okay, you know, we're about to get a whole bunch of people signing up, and I'm like, yeah, what happened? And then, I mean, if it's something with the group in particular, no one's expressing that to me. I don't know if people maybe feel bad, or they don't, you know, they don't want to say anything negative to me, but I've worked in customer service for over 20 years. There is nothing anybody can say to me that will be, crush my world. I mean, this is not my job. I don't take it personal.
Right.
But people aren't really giving me the feedback. I feel like they are probably telling their friends or the people who they're in the flower with or whoever brought them in, but for whatever reason, it's not getting, passed up the chain to the admins.
Right. Personally for me, well, obviously you guys can see that Tondele is very outspoken, and so is Jazz. So they have no problem speaking up. So everything that they're saying to you guys, they're saying to me probably a lot more though. So when they, like I said, like Dion said, they have been recruiting as well. So from them and from myself, we all feel responsible for the people that we bring in. And we just want to make sure that not only are we successful, they're successful. So when they see that, one, that we're not communicating every day and saying, hey, this is what the update is, or this is what's going on, they get weary. They get worried because it's just like, hey, we haven't heard from admin in 2 or 3 days. We haven't seen a flower being posted. What's going on? And a lot of other people in this group are also in other groups, and they seeing how those other groups are moving a lot faster, which I tell them, like, look at the members in those, look at the number of members in that group. It's probably a lot more members in that group versus this group. But I try my best to just remain positive with them and just say, listen, we building this, everyone's gonna get paid out. Unfortunately, I only can give you the information that was given to me. And I even put a little buffer on it because someone, Jazz recruited me in, and she told me it's getting paid out within 2 to 3 days, but she just just to be on the safe side, just give it a week. And then the people I brought in, I said, give it 2 to 3 weeks. Cause I just I don't want nobody to be like, you told me a week and now it's taking me a whole month, So I did put a little buffer on that. But even with that, it's kind of like, damn, now I'm starting to hit that 2-week mark with some people that I brought in, and it's still in the same spot.
Well, and I think that goes to the original thing, right? Because I think the original group was a lot of people, right? Serge, correct me if I'm wrong. I wasn't in that original chat. I came in once the chat mysteriously closed, and then they created the one we're in now. But I think that when it first started, there were a lot of people. Am I right about that, Serge?
Yeah, it was like 120 something people when we first got in there.
Wow.
And there was it was kind of like a back and forth between two of the people. And I think it just kind of made everything sour. And then somebody just pulled the plug. So I guess whoever was the original administrator I guess they decided to get out, and that just kind of the whole community disappeared.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's when I got in, and I was still bringing people in, and we were paying people's flowers in the 120 in the bigger group. And so now we're kind of stuck in this one. So well, not really stuck, but you know what I'm saying? It just wasn't moving like the 121 was moving at first.
Right.
So anyway, when I got involved, I was like, well, it just seems like, people just need to know how to trust each other. We need to trust the process. Everybody needs to do this. So that's when I just said, all right, well, I'll just put a website together, and maybe it'll help facilitate the process. So I think it's moving along. I think with a few adjustments, we can make it even, more bigger, more explosive. Like some of the things that you just said, Tasha, like some of the questions and concerns that you're hearing, I think a lot of that stuff, to me, because maybe I'm just looking at it from a geek perspective, but I feel like it could be automated. Inside the Telegram, for example, they have these little bots that you could create. And you could just easily create a bot that just sends updated flowers to everybody, different times during the day. So it could be 3 times a day, you'll see where you are in the flower.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think if we just if we just did that, maybe like somehow we figure out a way to send daily communication.
Well,
And
oh, sorry, Serge. I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, go ahead.
Say, like, for me, I didn't know what the expectation was as far as how often people wanted the updated flowers. So originally somebody had asked me like, well, when can we expect to see, the updates? And so I had responded, can you do 24 hours to post the updates? And no, no one objected. Sorry, that's my son.
No, you're fine. If it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother me because I got my nephew, so I'm used to it.
So nobody objected, but I mean, if they want to see immediate updates, that's fine. But I won't know that unless, I'm given the feedback.
This is why I'm saying, like, if we can create a bot, like somebody can just type the word update, right? And then the bot will go look at the spreadsheet and give them an update. It'll be like, hey, this is where you are in the flower.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think long term we can automate a lot of things. But for like immediate,
I mean, I'm only trying to make it easier on the admins, right? Like, I know it takes a little bit of time to update flowers and then send them out.
Flowers don't take a long time to update. That's not the issue.
Well,
but
I'm not talking about physically, but I mean, like, everybody has a life, right? So if, you're out doing something, I don't know. I think the turnaround time, 24 hours, whatever it turns out to be, we should just communicate it often. Like, we should just have like a little marketing campaign or something that just constantly reminds everybody, like, hey, here's the expectations, here's the process, or here's all the frequently asked questions. If we just create like a few different JPEGs or something, and we could just have it automatically like go out every every couple days or something like that. But I just want to make it easier on everybody because this is like an investment. One, I think we need to just get people to understand that, like, you're putting in money and you're investing in basically yourself. You're investing in your ability to build a community.
Exactly.
So if you're investing, then hopefully you don't think you just walk up to any investment and just cash out, throw 100 on the table and walk away with a G. That type of growth takes time, right? So
Right.
I think we just need to periodically reiterate those things to everybody and just like, hey, one, be patient, welcome to the community, things are moving along, and keep it, and all those concerns that you mentioned, Tasha, I think we should address each concern and create some sort of policy or rule that addresses it and make everybody feel like their voice is heard. And let's continue building this thing together. You know what I mean? Like, it's only going to be as successful as we make it.
Right.
If we give up, then of course, then our part of that flower gives up.
Right.
So I feel like we could just make this thing easier on ourselves. And I feel like, we probably need a street team then. If we're gonna make this more about community growth and not so much one-on-one, like, you got to bring in 2 people or whatever, then if it's going to be a community thing, then we need to have like a marketing team. Then we need to be like, yo, we're going to have a Zoom call once a week. We're going to have here's how we're going to, I don't know, we have to kind of like polish it up a little bit and then make it enticing for somebody to come along and be like, yeah, this group got together.
Right. And
That's
that's
my
what,
2 cents.
no, I totally agree, because that's what I see is happening in a lot of the other groups that I'm in. Like Dion, I'm invested into two other groups, but I'm also I have been invited to numerous groups, so I could just sit there and watch the conversation, and I'm in the chat. And yeah, I try to mimic. So like when I put that long message inside and I pinned it, I kind of, copy that from other groups where I was seeing what's going on, like some of the common themes that people would ask, as well as, some of the things that the admin was really adamant about, because, unfortunately, in order for us to be successful, we do have to have some type of structure, and that structure is not going to be beneficial for everybody. It's not going to be everyone's favor, but it has to be some type of guideline that we have to follow. And so that's why I was trying to make sure that we had the information privy to know, not only the current members, but new members who's coming into our group. So I do feel like some type of some type of gathering, meeting weekly or bi-weekly, where we talk to our members and say, hey, how are you guys feeling? Like, because I feel like the more quiet we are, or they don't hear from us, is the more concerned, the more weary they're going to become. And also, there was another point I wanted to touch on. Oh, when you said that, this is not like a quick thing. I feel like a lot of people, let me stop speaking for people. Personally, I saw the advantages and benefits of these type of groups, because, I feel like $100 within 2 to 3 weeks, I can make $800. That's fantastic. But if I put in $100 and I'm not getting paid out until 2-3 months later, I feel like I can do that on my own. I can make $800 from $100 within 2 to 3 weeks on my own. So I feel like that's why a lot of people joined as well. And so I just don't want it to become to a fact where it's just like, oh, this is not something that you could rely on consistently,
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. That is I do think that is what entices people to certain ones, is if they could get their money quicker than others. And I'm all for it.
Yeah.
The other thing that he brought up to me, maybe we can like create, so she had asked if we were reaching out to fires once they sign up. And I was like, no, typically I allow the people who brought in their fire to, have that relationship and that conversation, because that's where the relationship is.
Right.
So I was telling her that I was leaving it up to, whoever brought them in, because I felt like that person would be more comfortable having the conversation. And so she was saying that she thought that the group could benefit from like a welcome text or a welcome email of some sort that kind of, laid out, okay, here's where you are in your flower, welcome to the group, and these are the next steps, and whatever the details are.
Right. For that sense, I don't feel like it should be an email or a text message, because as the group grows, it's going to be hard for us as admin to keep in communication with all those people. I feel like as a group, we do a good job when someone is invited to the group, we say, welcome, da-da-da. But I would agree on her at the point where we bring, lost somebody.
Oh, he came in the room with me.
Okay, cool. I would agree when she says that when we bring new people in, there should be some type of representation of where they at when they come in. Because a lot of times now what we're doing is people would come in and we'll post a flower after that person was already recruited by whoever brought them in, even though they coming in, like it's like once we post the flower, it's just like, okay, now I see where I'm at. Okay, and I'm supposed to send my money to this person. Versus, let's just say I was to invite someone right now and they join the group and the flower's already there and it says, hey, if you join this flower, this is who you come underneath under, versus You get what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
saying that right.
Yeah. So they can see their name in the flower once
Exactly.
they join.
Exactly.
Okay.
I feel like, of course, this is me talking, but I feel like that could be automated, man.
He wants
Yeah.
to automate He
Look,
wants to automate our life.
everything, because it makes it so much easier. In the world that we live in now, it's all technology. And me coming from, I'm a software engineer as well, so I know exactly how you feel. You like, hey, let's do as less work as possible, to make our lives easier. But as we're starting off right now, I feel like we could probably dedicate time to both. I know we all have our own separate lives, and we're working, and we have families and stuff that we take care of. So it's going to be a large workload trying to do both. But just for to hold our group together and to make sure our members feel good about being in the group, I feel like right now our focus should be on getting the structure together and growing the group. And then as we grow and as we build in, then we start automating those things,
Yeah, I mean, I agree. He can work on that on the side.
See, but I don't want Spurs to be the only one, because I feel like it's a team effort, and I know how much work goes into it.
I was just trying to let you guys know that I hear what you're saying. People want to see their name on the flower, right? They put in some $100. They want to see where they're at.
Well,
So right now, what you do is you're basically looking at the flower, and then you're just updating and putting the name. Like you have a copy
people
of the flower.
come in like at any time of the day, like, sometimes it's midday and then we get a notification such and such has been added to the group, right? And immediately, especially if they don't, fill out the site, I don't know if they're a reserve or not a reserve, if I'm supposed to put them under, like, I didn't know that Nicole was Jasmine's flower. So when she was bringing people in, I didn't know that initially that she was bringing them in under Nicole.
So for Jasmine, what she told me was Nicole's her sister. So initially, her sister was all in, and her sister, she spotted it for her sister. But then her sister just backed out and said, I don't want to deal with it at all. You could take it. So since Jasmine put in the money for it, she just took over, like, okay, this is mine.
And I think that happens a lot, but I don't know, like, all the details of when that happens with certain people. I think certain people just did it. Like, I didn't know Nana and Michelle was the same
Me
person.
either. I didn't know that either.
So I guess what would be helpful for me, because I know that some people were having trouble with the site. Like, if they could just either side message one of us or even throw in the chat like, hey, this is so-and-so for so-and-so's flower. And then, I could make those updates quickly. But then at the same time, if I'm out and about with family, I'm not going to be updating flowers in the middle of the day just so people can see their name. So that's why I was like trying to give like a within 24-hour expectation. So I mean, I guess I could reiterate to the group, like, I will post them as soon as possible. Like, whenever there's an update, I try to at least get it out in the morning because that's when I have the most free time, which rotates, but I try to get it out in the morning. So maybe I can, and I know you guys work during the day, so there's not, you guys may not be able to update it either. So I guess what I could do is just maybe say like, hey, I can't update that right now, but I will make sure to get their name in the flower, or I'll have one of the admins if you guys can. So I guess just, proactively communicating.
Can I suggest something? What if it's like, all right, every day between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m., I'm updating flowers. Have all your information to me by 7. And if you get it to me, it'll be updated by 8 o'clock. But don't expect another update until tomorrow at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I like that. I like some type of cutoff, because that that to me is holding the team responsible and not just us. Like they have to, as members, have some type of accountability as well. They can't expect for us to do all the work. So if they are inviting people, they should respect that, you know, this is not a job. We are volunteering to do this, and we will update it, but you know, you have to give us enough time to do that. So I love that idea. I think having the cutoff time would be perfect. Maybe like you said, have a cutoff time, get them to me by 7, then by 8 o'clock, we'll send out the updated flowers. And, you know, maybe, I don't know, that it depends on our schedule. For Dion, the mornings work for her. Spurge, the nights may work for you. Me, it just depends on the day, honestly.
Yeah.
But I like the idea.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
That
so
could
we
work.
do
I
it.
mean, if they get it to me by 8 o'clock, nights could work for me too. It's just the midday, like things coming in the middle of the day. You know, that becomes the difficult part. But yeah, I like that too. Like having like a cutoff time. We know that people are. Well, that still gives people a lot of time because if we say 8 p.m. our time, then that's like
That's 11 p.m. this time.
yeah. So that should give people time to get that information in. Okay, like that. What other concerns have you heard? T is very vocal. I love it. I'm like, she's always like, I'm sorry. I'm like, girl, don't be sorry. Like, I would rather hear this than people just be dropping out and we don't know why.
Exactly.
But like, what other, you know, feedback or like, what else could we be doing better?
Besides, you know, the stuff that I said already, and the site was the probably high up there. And it's not because the site is bad. Well, they just said it's really hard to fill out the information if they're doing it from their phone. It's for the site. That's the only technical thing. But the other part was just people just didn't want to fill out the form regardless at all. I don't know if it's because they're being lazy or they just feel like, you know, and a lot, like I said, a lot of people that I'm telling that's willing to come into the group, either they heard about it before or they had done it before. And so a lot of people are like, well, when I joined this other group, we didn't have to do it, or I'm already in another group and, you know, there's no form. Why can't I just send my money and then I'll watch myself in the flower and that's how I track my progress. Like, I don't want to, you know, spend 2 minutes because it's really not that long. But you know, I don't want to spend 2 minutes to share my first and last name and my email address. I just want to share my Cash App, send the money who I'm supposed to give it to, and then track my progress.
So I think what she just said, that should be the interface. I just want to send my money and watch my progress.
Well, are they willing to download Telegram? Because if they just
even that, so if you notice, I have recruited a couple of people. I think it's like 2 or 3 people that I've recruited who are not on Telegram, and they're just like, you know what, I trust you enough where whenever it's my payday, just, you know, tell me when it is and I'll watch out for it. But, you know, some people like, I don't want to download the app. I don't care about, you know, the community. Not they don't care about the community, but it's just like, you know, I don't really want to engage. I just want to get paid. I just want to send my money and get paid. And so.
And that's fine. And yeah, for those people, yeah, we could just, because my niece was the same way. We got her to join, but I asked her to fill out the app. She just ignored me. So I get it. Some people don't want to do it. Don't want to do the site. And that's fine. We can actually do it for them if that's the case. I'm not really running into that issue too much. It's just a couple people here and there that T sent me that she said they were having trouble. So that's not a big deal. And I don't know if you saw, but he took off like all of section 3 and 4. So it's really just like your name, email, who brought you in, and do you have 2 people?
Right.
So okay, so that part is fixed.
Yeah. So I mean, I would still encourage people to still use. I still encourage people to use the site, and if they be like, I really don't want to, then I'll just go ahead and fill out the site for them.
Yeah, and I can help if you have like a bunch of people. You can send some to me, and I can help put some in too.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else. Um, I mean, I guess we can like schedule like a meeting with the group and present the one at a time idea and see what people think. I really think people will be against it because, I mean, not to like be a naysayer, but I feel like people really hold dear their fires and they're like, these are mine. Like, only you and T have brought in reserves besides me. And everybody else is like, no, put this in
Right.
my flower. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they probably won't be on board, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I definitely like having the group meeting. Even I because I have conflicting feelings about. I want to have a meeting. Like I said, I like the idea of having a weekly or bi-weekly meeting as a group as a whole. But there's just too many people who are just dead silent. Like they don't say good morning, they don't say welcome, they don't say anything. So I'm just like, how likely are they going to sit and come to a meeting with us? Versus
Right.
if we just share the information in the group and have people vote. And whoever votes, we count the votes, and whoever don't vote, we just count them as silent, and we just go with the majority. But I do like the idea of presenting it to the group. I do like the idea of us meeting bi-weekly or weekly. I like the idea of us having a cutoff time. So I think those are all good things that we should present to the group and see how everyone else is feeling.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, I think the people who are vocal are the people will be the only people at the meeting anyway, which are people who want the meeting anyway. So, I mean, that's fine. And then, I mean, at some point, we just got to make a decision, and whoever don't like it, then, majority of the people like it, and we get fallout from it, then we just deal with the fallout.
Right.
There'll be somebody to replace them. So,
Exactly.
have to deal with that.
Yo, I feel like in some situations, if we vote on the single flower concept, then we just got to get to a certain date and just rip the Band-Aid off. We're probably going to lose some folks, but the people who stick around, then are going to be the people who continue to grow the flower.
Well, and the other thing that we could do to kind of like, so we're just not like throwing it out there. I mean, you pretty much have like a core group of people, like you have Jasmine, you have T, right? That you're close to and you talk to. So, and they're the vocal ones. So, you can present it to them in your own way outside of like a group platform to see what their thoughts are. Because 9 times out of 10, they're going to be the ones to say yes or no anyway. So, so we can kind of present it to them maybe before bringing it to the group and see what they.
I don't even need to talk to them about it. We already discussed it. They all for it.
Oh, okay.
Like anything to get the flowers more quicker. They would they wouldn't. So.
Now, one final thing, man. Now, if we, I know you talked about how that other group did their single flower, right? Now, if the information is ever completely updated, if it's updated once a day or whatever, then it'll give you a suggestion on what the single flower should be. And so it's always going to look at who has been in the water position the longest.
Right.
So it's going to suggest, hey, this is the person who's probably should get cashed out. And then it's going to look and say, which fires have been in the system the longest. So if you guys were registering all the fires as they were coming in, once a day, then it's going to automatically say, it's going to populate the flower with the flowers that have been in the system the longest.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm okay with that. That's like the whole reserve system. I'm okay with that. Like I'm all for the community. I just don't know how everybody else would feel about that. And that's the part that scares me.
Right.
Well, if you said Jasmine and T would be on board,
What if it was an option? You can stick with your private or go with the public.
but that just makes it too much to manage. Like, then I have to manage, okay, who's next up, plus manage a private flower on the side.
Yeah. A suggestion, I think Jazz suggested this to me, was like the people who aren't recruiting and that we're not hearing from at all, put them all on one flower, or, you know, separate. Like, I don't know how it's going to do that, but she was like, basically, you know, everyone who's active and recruiting and bringing people in, you know, let's keep our flowers moving, because I'm not sure the person's name. I don't want to call nobody out, but they didn't recruit anybody and they got paid off of the reserves. And it's kind of like unfair for the people who are bringing reserves, because just like you just got, you know, paid out. And
I mean, was that Larry?
I'm not sure who. I can't remember who it was. I don't remember. But I understand, you know, it's a hard process. So, I understand that it's not easy recruiting. Go ahead.
Sorry about that.
No, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, it also gives more weight to the person who's recruiting. So if you have 2 people in there or 4 people in there with your name that says, you know, I was invited by Tasha. If there's 5 people in there and say I was invited by Tasha, you are gonna be more closer to the top of the water, so to speak.
But then what happens to our reserves that we said you could come in and not? Because I actually have been getting more people willing to join because they didn't have to bring in 2 people. Like when I originally brought this up, I think I had 2 people join, but I struggled with getting, you know, anybody else after that. And my sister's one of them, because she's, you know, she's not like outspoken or anything like that. So she was like, I don't have 2 people that I could bring in. And she was like, I asked a couple people, they told me no. So she was like, I can't do it. But then when we changed it to bringing in reserves, she was like, okay, well then I'll do it if I don't have to bring in 2 people. And I've actually had more people who come in as a reserve, and then later on they're like, oh, so-and-so I know wants to do it. So like they still ended up bringing in somebody,
right,
like down the line, but initially they were like, no, I want to be a reserve. I don't have nobody to bring in. So that part is going to be difficult for the people who we said, hey, because you have like 6 people that you said come in as a reserve and you don't need to bring in 2 people. Right, but we still want to make sure that they get paid, because they still help push the flower along when we were stagnant.
Everybody's gonna get in the club. It's just gonna be a VIP line. If you know,
yeah. And also my reserves are under the impression, they do know that, one, they must stay in, so they only gonna receive 7. Well, I told them that they'll receive the 800 because we're not holding anyone funds. So I told them that if they don't re-give, they're gonna get kicked out. I made that very clear. And then 2, I also let them know that even though they're not required to bring in anyone, we still want them to spread the word and you know, invite others, because it's a lot easier to have someone come in who doesn't have to bring in 2 people. So, you know, don't just be silent. Don't come into the group and be silent. You know, we still want you to do your part. So.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Yeah. And I try to like give the same message. Like this morning, you know, I was like, share the blessing.
Yeah.
Only gonna move as fast as we wanted to as a group. So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
One thing I think, you know, since everybody's being invited to all these other groups, we should form some kind of a chain or something, you know, like as we
get paid out from one group moves to the other one.
Right.
I was thinking the same exact thing. But we just gotta get this group moving. And I also was like hoping like maybe I should make like a fake Telegram account and all the other groups that I'm in just kind of post our group and say, hey, if you want to make $800, join this group. Because I know they'll probably kick me out. But at least people will see it.
I don't even know how people are getting my number because I woke up this morning and I was in like 4 groups and I was like, who are these people? I don't even know. Like one group had like 20 people. It looked like they had broke off and was starting their own group. And I'm like, I don't even know anybody. Like, where did they get my phone number or where did they get my Telegram from? Like, this is just so random.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And that $800 one that I'm in, it looks like people are just dumping names into the group and hoping that they see the momentum and want to join.
See, that's what I was hoping to do, but I was just like, I'm not going to bombard anybody because I feel like that will leave a negative taste. And then we'll just have people in the chat who don't need to be in there. Yeah. But I would love, because I know like a lot of the other groups that I'm in a 1350 one, I'm in a $200 one. And I'm also in a couple of ones that I'm not actually invested in. But yeah, there's so many members, and I'm just like, I know a lot of these people are just spectators, and a lot of them may not have the 1350 or the 800 or the 500 to put in. So why not just say, hey, you don't have 500, why not come into this $100 one? And I feel like that would boost us so much faster. But
yeah, do it.
And you can slide in the DMs.
Do it.
I can. Yeah. So wait, can I make a fake account? Because it's tied. Telegram is tied to your phone number, right?
I don't know if you can do that, but
yeah. Because I'm like, I don't want to get kicked out of the groups. Because once you solicit, they'll kick you out. So just like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
But either way, I have faith that we're gonna, turn this thing around. Not turn it around, but get. Pick it up, and it's going to be successful. It's just that, this is the beginnings, this is the legwork, it's the groundwork, and we just got to be consistent and, make sure we bring in like-minded and positive individuals. And
and I think we need to get our chat more lit. Like, our chat is kind of boring.
Yeah.
I'm going to start posting some gifs, gifts or whatever.
Yeah.
Cause I tried to like send out a good morning and then it was like 2 or 3 good mornings. And I'm like, but this $800 one, like every time I look, there's like 300 messages. Like they are constantly in there.
It's
like the
communication.
Up. So maybe like once we get off this, we can like get with I haven't heard from Tracy, by the way, the other admin, but we can get with the other admins and like, maybe take turns like posting stuff throughout the day to like get people engaged.
Yeah, I like that idea. Anything to build the community, because we just need to let people know that we are here to support you. We're in this together. Everyone here is taking the same risk, and we all have the common goal is to make sure we build wealth for each other. So I definitely think we need to build that camaraderie and make sure we have a good rapport with everyone.
Yeah, I agree. Well, that was all I had. I kind of hijacked y'all meeting. I'm gonna kind of talk to my folks on the side about the one flower idea, and then like you said, maybe I would put it in the chat. It's just hard to explain the concept, so maybe if I add like the pictures that I showed you, then people could visually see it,
right?
And then see what people's thoughts are on that. Because, we know Solomon's on board because he was like, why do we have all these flowers? Why don't we just combine into one? Like, I don't understand. And I'm like, you're on to something. So I'll do that over the next day or so. So we have like, we have one reserve left. So I didn't place him in, I didn't place him in Nicole's flower yet because she has 2 spaces. So I was kind of waiting until we got 2 reserves so that I could put them both in and then say, hey, you're closed out. But I don't know. What do you think? Should I just pop him in there?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I feel like we should just go ahead and start filling out the flowers, even though it may not be full. I know that's what we first agreed on. And also the other spot, one of the spots is from my little sister Bianca. So I have somebody who's willing to come in, but they were waiting until they get paid. So hopefully by tomorrow, that other spot will be full. So I would just go ahead and put it in there, put that person on her flower, and then by tomorrow for sure, I should have the other person come in.
Girl, you killing it, girl.
Listen, we all got to listen because I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get paid too. And then people, I already brought it like, okay, what's going on? So I'm just like, let's get it going. So.
Definitely appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, do you have anything else?
Not that I know of. I mean, Spurge, I know you want to talk about the website. So do you want to talk about that now, or what do you think? What's your feelings? I don't want you to feel like I'm ignoring you, or I'm just, I'm not done with the site. I just feel like we have other priorities a little bit first before that.
I feel you. I just saw it as an opportunity, like we said, right? We're going to all these other Telegram groups, and there's all these other people that are doing this. I just felt like if there was some general type of a tool where you could just create an hour or so, I don't know, whatever the issues are, and it could be something general, like just a tool that you could use on your phone or on a website, whatever. And that's all I was trying to say, is just making it something open. It's kind of like, for, others, and then just do something cool. That's all I was trying to say.
Yeah. Okay. So, this meeting kind of went into something else. So if you want to have a technical meeting, I'm down for that as well. I don't have any availability the rest of this week because I'm out of town, but definitely next week I'm available if you want to set up a meeting and we could talk about it and brainstorm and go from there.
In general, like, software background. So you've been building apps and stuff for a while?
Yeah, so I've been a software engineer now for 3 years. When I first started, when I was in boot camp, of course, I had to build my own different projects and stuff. And so for fun, I still do it, but I work for Home Depot. And so I work on our tracker app. So anytime, just like when you order from Amazon, you track your package, I work on that tracker for Home Depot. So, yeah, as far as my personal stuff, I haven't done that in like over a year. I got too much on my plate. But
you're not all coding right now.
What'd you say?
You're not in the always be coding mode. You're not like always.
Oh hell no! I know how to stop. Okay, I know how to disconnect. But I do, once I'm in it, like it's hard. Once I'm in the groove and I'm stuck, it's like I can get lost in it for hours. But then I'm like, oh, I need to back away from the screen. So yeah, I'm probably not as I'm not gonna call you dirty, but I ain't probably not as technical as you. I have a love for it, but it's definitely not my passion.
No, yeah, I was just trying to get a sense of if you're like building apps as a side hustle or.
Oh no. So I created websites for people but that's easy, that's nothing. But right. No. Mm-mm. I probably should, but I don't want to deal with the workload. It's too much.
Yeah, because once he gets started, like when he was doing the 100 gifted site, he literally, I was like, you gotta come to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was live, you know what I'm saying? It was like, well, I said I would do this tool, and then I can't just have it looking crazy.
Right. Right.
So, I have fun doing that. I haven't messed with like Excel and visual basic type of functions and whatever. So I just wanted to see if I could do it.
You still do it, yeah. No, I'm all for it. I mean, I do enjoy it, so I do have fun with it. But I'm not going to be sitting there, 20 hours out of my day behind a computer. I have other stuff going on, so I can't.
Yeah, no, to be honest, I feel like we spend too much time on this. That's why I was telling her, in the mornings, I want us to be working on our other projects.
Well, yeah, we're normally trading in the morning.
Yeah, I trade as well, so that's how I'm just like I'm on the same boat. That's how I said I got a lot more other stuff going on besides that, and I just can't just be coding all day.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I might mess with the bot just to answer basic questions.
We
Okay.
should do a frequently asked questions thing though.
Mm-hmm.
We should maybe start a list of that, and then we could put it in that file that in the group.
You could have to send it out
Or
every morning.
the bot,
8 o'clock.
the bot can send it out.
You can make it a cute bot, right? It could be
Yeah.
Well, all right. We don't want to take up any more of your time. Thanks for being so invested. I mean, I think we kind of all got thrown into this admin. Well, you volunteered. We volunteered too, actually, but it was just kind of like seeing the need and jumping in. So I definitely appreciate
I see it bigger, man. I see like an investment group budding, like something bigger, I think, is gonna come out of this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Even the network alone, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I could just create a cool, dope, maybe it's not this app, maybe it's not the Flower app, but maybe it's a whole nother app. And that company just blows up out of some sort of network, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. And then have all these other groups using your software. How about that?
that's what I'm thinking. That it could just be something generic like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely appreciate you. Thanks. I mean, we're all being patient, but yeah, thanks for your patience.
Of course. But all right, guys, thank you so much for taking the time out to meet with me. I really do appreciate it. I feel like we should probably not do this. Well, do it more often, but not too often.
Yeah.
But yeah, I look forward to the upcoming things that we have going on. I feel like it's gonna be good.
Yep. Agreed. All right. Have a good night.
You as well. Talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye. What you doing?